Today on CTV News at 5, the bid to host the Memorial Cup. Kitchener and Guelph named as finalists. The Highway 7 rivalry reignited on the road to the 2027 tournament. Plus, when grief meets greed, the rise of lost pet scams and the warning from owners who were targeted. And the health hazards as kids head back to class. We sit down with the medical officer of health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. The Canadian Hockey League's National Championship will be held locally in 2027. The Kitchener Rangers and Guelph Storm have made the shortlist to host the Memorial Cup. Now the two finalists are preparing their formal bids in hopes their city is chosen for the massive 10-day event. CTV's Heather Senerin heard from both teams' organizations today and joins us live with more. Heather, we are talking about one of the most sought-after titles in junior hockey.
And it would be a big deal if either city got to host it, Leanne. And the team that gets to host also gets to play in the tournament. Kitchener announced its plans to pursue a bid in August. They previously hosted several times, most recently in 2008. The Rangers winning the cup in the early 80s and 2003. Meantime, the Guelph Storm announced their intention to pursue the cup in June to coincide with the city's 200th anniversary. They've never won the title, but they hosted the tournament in 2002. Both teams say it is an honor to be a finalist and in the running to host.
We've been working hard from a hockey operations side to plan and prepare for this. We have a tremendous hockey region and an incredible fan base. And our facilities are second to none.
I mean, anytime you're Final Two, with 20 great teams in our league, it's something to be proud of. I think the work that we've done already behind the scenes and working with the city and making sure this isn't just the Guelph Storm bidding, it really is the city of Guelph bidding.
At 6, we hear from both teams and cities and from the CHL about when a decision will be made. Leanne.
Yeah, exciting stuff for both teams. Heather, thanks so much. CTV's Heather Senerin joining us live this hour. An 80-year-old woman is dead after being found with life-threatening injuries in downtown Guelph over the weekend. The woman was found unconscious on a sidewalk Sunday and taken to hospital. Officers arrested and charged a 34-year-old Guelph man with attempted murder and aggravated assault. Guelph police told CTV News today they are not commenting on updated charges following the woman's death as the investigation is ongoing. Police say the 34-year-old man and the victim had met before, but were not close. A couple in Guelph, Aramosa is warning pet owners after they received a suspicious message from someone claiming to have found their pet cat. Joshua Langdon and Alexa Roma say their pet cat Sushi ran away from home Saturday. The next morning, they got a message from a person with an unknown email saying they found Sushi but would not return him until they got paid. The person also sent a doctored photo of what appeared to be the couple's missing cat.
At first we thought, yeah, that's our cat. He has our cat. And we just kind of kept going back and forth messaging, but he was really adamant on wanting a reward. And he was essentially just putting up the cat for ransom, that if we didn't give him money and send him an e-transfer, then we wouldn't be able to get our cat back.
Coming up at 6, CTV's Alexandra Hollick will tell us what pet owners need to know to prevent getting scammed. And we head outside for our first check on the forecast. Alex Pinto live on location tonight at the Cambridge Fall Fair. Alex, the gates officially opened moments ago.
Yeah, they opened around 4 o'clock or so this afternoon, and this is the first official day here at Dixon Park in Cambridge. This is going to be running over the next several days, right through until Sunday, and there's a little something for everyone. If you're a fan of the Midway, plenty of rides, lots of games, and you can kind of see it starting to pick up a little bit right now. So for 180 plus years, this fair has been a staple in the city of Cambridge. So we're really seeing a mix of nostalgic flair, modern entertainment. Again, really something for everyone here. here. If you're a big fan of fair food, there is no shortage of that, from cotton candy, corn dogs, and of course a sweet treat, maybe an ice cream or so. Today, again, is the official day. Lots of great entertainment packed as well. And lucky for us, I've got to say the weather really cleared up compared to what we saw this morning. Starting the day with a bit of cloud cover, some cooler conditions, a bit of rain. So right now we're seeing lots of blue sky, just a few clouds, but we're really enjoying a nice breeze as well. So I do want to start off, though, when we look at our weather for this special weather statement that is currently in place for several areas, especially if you are along the shores of Lake Huron, potentially in Georgian Bay as well. So, for example, the Bruce Peninsula, Sauble Beach, Tobermory impacted by this special weather statement. Strong winds possible as we look ahead to tomorrow. So Friday, we could see wind gusts 70 to 90 kilometers an hour. So this expected to start Friday morning and last right through to the evening. But yeah, like I said, as we look at our satellite and radar map, just a few clouds right now. That wind, though, is picking up a little bit, but overall pretty comfortable if you do have plans to head down here to the fair this evening. 17 it is right now in Kitchener-Waterloo, 15 in Goderich, so slightly cooler if you are by the water. 18 it is right now in terms of current conditions in the city of London. So yes, lots on the go here. We're going to be here over the next couple of hours, of course, throughout the 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock show, and see what the fair has to offer. So we'll check back then in just a bit. Leanne.
Well, looks like it has lots to offer. And Alex, I know you're hoping to get your hands on some cotton candy, so I hope it works out for you. We'll check back in later on. Thanks so much. And we'll take you to break and tell you what you need to know. Bring the kids to check out Cambridge OPP's open house on Saturday from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. You can meet members of the K9 unit, take a photo with a cruiser, motorcycle, and officers, plus enjoy activities for everyone. The free event will be held at the Cambridge Detachment on Hespeler Road. Donations to the food bank are appreciated as well. And a look outside our studios this hour. Nice blue sky, a little bit of cloud cover. As Alex mentioned, great night for the Cambridge Fall Fair. However, just 17 degrees here locally, so bundle up if you're heading anywhere this evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back. As kids head back to class this week, it means there's a higher chance of exposure to various diseases and health risks as well. Let's discuss with Dr. Nicola Mercer, the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Dr. Mercer, great to see you again.
Oh, it's great to be back.
Okay, well, let's start with vaccines. What ones should families really be making sure their children have at this time of year as they are heading back to school?
Yeah, well, I put them in two really buckets of vaccines. So if you're sending your young child off to school for the first time, or maybe they're in SK or grade 1, there's a whole bunch of vaccines that they need to have to stay in school. And these are the childhood vaccines. And one of those childhood vaccines that they really has been on everybody's mind right now is the measles vaccine, which also comes with mumps and rubella. So if you haven't seen your family doctor for a long time, maybe you don't have a family doctor, this is a really good time, though, to think about that yellow card that maybe you had, or the vaccines, or when was the last time your child had a shot, and get up to date. If you don't have a family doctor, you can try a walk-in clinic or call your public health unit, because I know we'd be more than happy to talk to you and see what your child needs. Then there are the vaccines that your kid's going to get when they're in grade 7. So there are 3 vaccines that we give to children in grade 7, a meningitis vaccine, a hepatitis vaccine, as well as an anti-cancer HPV vaccine. Now, these vaccines are free while your child's a student, but once they graduate from high school, they're no longer free. And if your child is traveling to this, maybe to school in the States, sports scholarship, or wants to do humanitarian work in any part of the world, these 3 vaccines are really important that your child receive, and they're free while your kid's in grade 7. And if your child is nervous about vaccines, and we know a lot of people are, they don't want to get vaccines, you can call us. We actually have a whole program. We work really hard to make sure that those children who are scared of needles can still get all their shots in comfort.
Okay, that's great. We also know in the first few months of the school year, of course, a lot of germs are going around. What are some of the most common illnesses that you'll see or parents will see at this time of year?
Yeah, well, usually starting about 2 or 3 weeks just before Thanksgiving, after the school starts, we start to see respiratory infections starting to spread. This is not the peak time of year. Usually it's anywhere around Thanksgiving, and for the few weeks after that's when your child is going to start coming home with a runny nose. But we do see it. This is when they're meeting other kids and they're actually being exposed to a lot more germs, and they're indoor in a classroom environment. So this is a time if you can teach your child to wash their hands often. That's a good thing, especially before they eat anything. That's a really good habit for all of us to have in order to keep yourself healthy. And also just to make sure that any of those shots that they might be missing are up to date. I don't want to see measles make a resurgence, but it is possible, especially if your child is unvaccinated or if there are other children in the class who are unvaccinated. It is possible that some of these vaccine preventable diseases could also show their head this fall.
We've talked a lot about vaping and the use of nicotine patches rising, especially among those older students. As kids do head back to class, how do you recommend parents tackle this topic with their kids?
Well, I think the really important thing is for parents to know that this vaping in particular can be hidden by your child. And it actually is starting as young as children who are in grade, like even elementary school. So just because your child is in grade 6, 7, or 8, don't think that they haven't or don't know about vaping and know people who are vaping. So please keep the conversation open and talk to your child about what these things are, that they're not just candy flavored liquid, that they are addicting. And also make sure that with your older children, or if you find that they actually have vaped, tell them that there is plans. You can speak to your family doctor. There are ways to help them to stop vaping. And so if this is something that they're doing or you discover or they're thinking about, have that open conversation, and please reach out to us in public health. We can give you some tools and we can talk to you more about what you can do for your child if they're vaping.
Okay, lastly, let's just touch on food allergies as well. For kids heading back to the classroom with food allergies, do you have advice for parents on a type of plan that they can come up with?
Yeah, this one's a tricky one because there's food allergies and food sensitivities. But for those children who are truly allergic, that means they have to carry an EpiPen. So really the most important thing is making sure that for younger children in particular, that you have a plan with the school, that they have an EpiPen close by, and that your child is aware of how to get it, or those in the classroom, teachers and others know how to get access to that EpiPen. And for older children, that they actually are comfortable carrying it, that you have sort of a strategy where they can keep it around them in their backpack or pouch, because for this age group they don't necessarily want to carry a lot of stuff. But if they have a true food allergy, the most important thing is to have that EpiPen close by so that they can get immediate treatment as soon as they start developing symptoms. But from a preventative strategy, the most important thing is to teach your child not to share food, to only eat what they have prepared for you at home, and to keep your hands clean, because it's really that cross-contamination. It's not what they breathe in the air, it's what they're putting in their mouth. So don't try anything, don't swap food, and don't even pick up or touch other children's food if they have true food allergies.
Okay, well, we covered a lot, and of course, best of luck to all the kids heading back to school this week. Dr. Mercer, thanks so much for the advice. Dr. Nicola Mercer is the Medical Officer of Health in Wellington, Dufferin, Guelph. Thanks again.
And thank you for having me.
Okay, we're heading back to the Cambridge Fall Fair, where Alex Pinto is live with your weather forecast tonight. Alex, it may be windy, but there is still plenty to see and do at the Cambridge Fall Fair. Looks like a lot of people are coming out there behind you.
Yeah, gates officially opened at 4 o'clock or so this afternoon, and it's getting busier and busier. But yeah, to your point of the winds, we're definitely noticing them picking up a little bit here. But the good news, some nice blue sky, a little bit of a cloud for us, but that sun is peeking through. So pretty nice conditions overall to come down and enjoy the first official night. So this is going to last right through until Sunday. So you've got 4 days to enjoy the Cambridge Fall Fair at Dixon Park, again here in Cambridge. Tonight is the first official night. So we're seeing a little bit of everything, plenty of games. Of course, we've got your traditional carousel, we've got teacups, a couple bumblebees too, ride-wise. So for the little ones, there are rides for them too. They don't have to be flipped upside down in the full tilt or the Ferris wheel here. So of course, though, we're not only enjoying the sights and sounds, but the smells. We've got cotton candy, ice cream, you've got your corn dogs. So your traditional, of course, when you think of Fall Fair, these are the foods that you think about. And this is definitely a great way to wrap up the end of summer and kick off fall, even though fall still officially is just a few days away. But yes, plenty to see and do over the next few days. So if you are planning to come down here tomorrow, gates are going to open at 4 o'clock. And tomorrow's the Friday Night Thunder with Impact Motorsports Demolition Derby. So that's always a popular one. You might want to bring a blanket, though, just in case. And then we've got plenty of performances to look forward to starting tomorrow right through the weekend. We even have a tribute to AC/DC hitting the main stage on Saturday. But to your point about the wind, yeah, that special weather statement still in place, especially if you're going to be along the shores of Lake Huron, Georgian Bay. Potentially gale force winds are possible in those areas. So, for example, Bruce Peninsula, Sauble Beach, Tobermory impacted by this special weather statement. This is where we could see strong winds possible for Friday, gusts 70 to 90 kilometers an hour. So it should ease up or so Friday evening, so something we're going to keep a closer eye on. Right now, though, pretty nice conditions out here in Cambridge, mainly clear sky. We have a couple of clouds, but that sun is peeking through, and maybe a little bit of cloud cover just expected over the next few hours. And then getting into your Friday, a little bit to the north, we potentially could see a little bit of wet weather roll into. So you might want to grab an umbrella just in case as we get into your weekend. There is going to be a slight chance for some wet weather. 17 degrees right now in Kitchener, Waterloo, 14 if you're in Mount Forest, 16 if you're a little bit north in the city of Barrie tonight. And our high today, 18. So we're still below seasonal for this time of year. Normal, we should be sitting at about 22 degrees or so. Our record high, 34 degrees. That was set back in 1953. And it was on this day in 1946. We saw an overnight record low of just 0, which is hard to believe, especially this time of year, because we're going to be dipping down overnight to about 6 degrees or so, which is still below seasonal. But if you're a fan of cooler evenings, maybe opening the windows as you get to enjoy a little bit of fresh air, it's the night for you. So that sunrise now around 6:50 in the morning. So later and later, we're getting closer and closer to 7 o'clock. And that sun is now setting at 7:52 p.m. So again, overnight, 6 degrees is our expected overnight low. Just a few clouds, but the winds expected to stick with us, potentially picking up a bit and coming from the west. That's what we're going to be seeing. Tomorrow, though, 22 degrees. We're going to see some sun and cloud, 30% chance of showers, though, potentially kicking off in the afternoon hours. Okay, over the next several days, and as we get into your weekend forecast, yeah, chance for a bit of wet weather sticking with us for Saturday and Sunday in particular. Even getting into your Monday, we could see highs in the upper teens. And yeah, we're getting back to the single-digit overnight lows. So definitely a little bit on the cooler side. But hopefully, if you do have plans to come out to the Fall Fair here in Cambridge tonight, would probably be a perfect night to do so. And hopefully, if there is that chance of showers sticking around right through your weekend, maybe Mother Nature will change her course a little bit. Leanne.
Yeah, hopefully. Don't love those single-digit overnight lows, but certainly a great night for the fair. Alex, thanks so much. Connecting community through culture and food in Breslauv. The team at May's Garden are growing traditional crops normally found throughout Southeast Asia. Lifelong friends, May and Mai, grow everything from sweet potato leaves to African eggplant, bitter melon, and the most popular product, their Asian sticky corn. The 70-year-old women say farming in their later years has kept them young at heart.
If you're working on the farm, I don't know the vegetable, corn, like all kind of vegetable make you happy.
They're super excited to get a taste of what life was back then. So many of them will come and they'll be like, man, this reminds me of back at home.
Coming up at 6, Ashley Bacon will learn more about May's Garden and what it means to them to share their culture with Waterloo Region. And we have an update now on a story we brought you about a kitten found hurt at the side of the road in Wellington County back in July. Named Small Fry, this little guy was covered in parasites when he was picked up. After several weeks of treatment, he's now ready for adoption. And within hours of the posting going up, the Guelph Humane Society says the maximum number of applications were submitted, bringing him one step closer to finding his forever home and, of course, his happy tale with the Guelph Humane Society. Okay, stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Another beluga whale and a harbor seal have died at Marineland, and it's caught the attention of the premier. The beluga death marks the 20th whale to die at the Niagara Falls tourist attraction since 2019. Phil Demers, a former Marineland trainer turned outspoken critic of the park, says he's hopeful something might be done after a recent phone call with Premier Doug Ford. Demers says he texted Ford after learning of the most recent death and received a call from the premier 2 minutes later. Marineland has not opened its doors to the public since last summer. 30 belugas are believed to remain at the park. They are the last captive whales in the country. A new report indicates the rise of gig work, artificial intelligence, and rapid population growth has affected the job prospect of Canada's youngest workers. The Desjardins report indicates the rise of the gig economy, or app-based work, often includes barriers for young people. The research also found that young international students or children of those who have recently arrived in Canada that are now old enough to enter the labor force are disproportionately struggling to find work today compared with those who are born in Canada. New data shows Canada's trade deficit is shrinking, but it's still bigger than it was at this time last year. According to StatCan, the merchandise trade deficit in July was at $4.9 billion. That's smaller than the previous month's $5.9 billion, but much higher than the same period last year. Overall exports rose by just under 1% to $61.8 billion in July. One of the biggest entertainment events in Canada kicks off today, and it is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Yes, the Toronto International Film Festival hitting the mid-century mark. A lot of A-listers expected to be in the city for one of the world's largest film festivals. The 11-day celebration will see the likes of Matthew McConaughey, Kerry Washington, and Dwayne Johnson walk the red carpet in Toronto. And finally for us, the NFL. Officially back tonight with reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Dallas Cowboys in the kickoff to the regular season. The Eagles will begin their title defense with many roster pieces returning. Their division rival, the Cowboys, looking to get back into the playoffs. Newly acquired wide receiver George Pickens will try to get them there. The other 30 NFL teams will start their season on Friday, Sunday, or Monday. And that is how you know fall is right around the corner when the NFL is back. All right, we're back here at the top of the hour with your next local news. Take care. Have a good night.